All right, here we go. Let's get this started. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan.
My name is Jorge.
Welcome back to a podcast. Today we have a special guest,
My name is Michael, and I do sports cards and all kinds of stuff too. I'm sure you guys will hear about that.
also known as Michael Opens Packs.
There we go.
Let's
Michael,
go, baby.
Michael's pack openings. I've been doing that on YouTube. So you guys want to start it off with a quick little battle? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to save that till the end.
Let's save that to the end.
Save that till the
Let's
end?
Save that to
Okay.
the end. That's a nice teaser, right?
There we
away
go.
from-
Got to
from
keep
the
them
very
stay. You got to
beginning.
keep them wait until the end.
Yeah, well, actually, since we're gonna do that at the end, let's just show them what we got, so they know what to expect at the end.
So I got a Prism Blaster, a football. This is going to be some heavy stuff. Hopefully I pull something good out of that.
So I have a Pokemon set, ETB Elite Trainer box. I think it's got like eight booster packs. Jorge.
And I got the WWE Prism. So let's see what's up, what's cracking with
Yeah.
these guys.
So these are all in the same price range. I cheated a little bit. I went to Walmart and I found this on sale. They're usually
On sale? Pokemon on sale?
yeah.
You could probably flip that real quick right now.
real, dude.
That's crazy.
I'm not
They'd
gonna
have
tell
it
you
on
where
sale.
I got it, but
Oh, you got to keep the honey
Yeah.
holds a secret.
Yeah, money holds a secret, man. But we all have about the same amount of packs in here.
Yeah, I got 6 packs. You should probably have 6 packs.
You got
too.
6. I think I got 8. Football's your favorite sport to open?
Yeah, I do. I open a lot of football. Some of my fans, since I started opening a lot of football, that's what they were there for, because some people open a lot of different sports, and obviously I want to open more sports, but some of my fans get the backlash, but then that gives me a bigger audience because, some people like basketball, soccer, everything like that. So eventually I do want to expand, and the only thing holding me back is that I hear one guy gives me kind of shit sometimes, and he's like, "Oh, I'm here for the football," but I can't let that one guy determine what I could get 500 more people just because he's doing basketball and other stuff. I've tried basketball a couple times, and it does get pretty good views. So I'm kind of venturing out here and there, just slowly give it to them instead of just all at once.
Yeah, shout out to that one guy for commenting on there and asking for the same stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard, and it's hard to stay motivated when you're opening the same stuff all the time.
And that's what happened when I first started YouTube. Obviously, you guys probably know the hardest thing is just starting. And once I finally started, I was buying a lot of the retail boxes from Walmart. And as I'm opening them, I'm just pulling the same stuff over and over. And it's harder to get a lot of good stuff out of here. And so it got to a point where I'm like, man, I'm not, I'm spending a lot of money on it versus, where I could go get the bigger hobby boxes, but I thought buying in quantity would be better. But then once I learned, like, how many, there's only so many times I can open a Prism box and pull the same players over and over. It's not going to be entertaining for the viewers. And so then that's when I moved up to opening some of the more expensive products and getting actually good chances at getting hits and stuff like that, which makes it more entertaining for the viewers. It's more expensive, but me and him talked in the beginning. You end up spending the same amount of money on these as you would a big box, and you get way less value out of it. So
Go ahead.
I was telling him earlier, I was like, remember when we went ham on those World Cup?
Oh, dude, that was stupid.
Dude, the World Cup stuff, that
was
stuff
Yeah.
was going crazy when it first came out. I wanted to get in on it because when they first came out, they were relatively cheap. But as soon as World Cup started, that box like almost doubled in price.
Well, we were buying them at retail price, so we never paid over retail.
That's what me and him were talking. He's like, we probably spent the 500 or whatever it was for a box total.
We spent more.
But he's like, we didn't get an autograph. You might have got a couple numbered cards, you said, or something like that. But
The shitty players.
yeah,
Dude, we didn't get anything good out of that box, dude. Anything good. There was one night after a podcast that we were in here drinking, and I had bought like 10 boxes. He had like 5, and then I'd already had like 5 or 10 in here. I think we opened like 20 boxes that one night, which like we bought at different times.
Yeah,
so
you just had them saved up.
It wasn't out of like a case.
yeah.
But I think we only got like 3 or 4 numbered cards out of that, and they were shitty players. Like, we lost our ass on that.
And that's where I learned too, is I was buying all the retail stuff, just quantity, but there's just nothing good coming out of them. And you look on the side of these boxes, it tells you what they're guaranteed, and like, so they're guaranteed. This one is guaranteed your one light blue prism and a couple of green prisms, but like, so that's just for retail. But you can't pull any of the stuff in hobby that has the big value. If you're searching for a big hit, these are few and far between, and you can't even get the chances. Like 101s, I don't even think you can pull the 101s
No,
out of here.
you
It's
can't get
just
any
hobbies.
autos, no numbered.
And so that's where they kind of get you. Like, yeah, it's cheaper and it's a good entry point for people, but you're just not pulling anything of value, you know? So it kind of sucks sometimes. Like if you're just doing it for fun, a strictly hobby, perfect. But if you're kind of trying to make content or make it interesting or kind of do it to where you do want to pull some good stuff, it's not worth it. And I learned that in the long run. I wasted a lot of money on it.
So just to start off, so for people that have never or are getting into the hobby, which would I would consider talking about football and basketball.
Yeah.
How do they know what box to buy? Because even football alone, there's like 6 different retail boxes.
So me and him were talking right before too. That was when I first started off too. I walked into a card shop. You got all these different brands. You have Donruss, you have Select, you have Prism, you have Optic, you have Illusions, you have what's another one? Like Draft Picks, Chronicles. You have all
Donruss.
these Donruss. You have all these different brands. And then when I was like, well, which one do I want to open to give me the best shot? And unfortunately, the guy card shop I went to, he led me the long way because he wanted me to buy the stuff that wasn't selling so that it would sell. And then one day, one of my buddies hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, you need to stop opening that stuff. Like you're wasting your money." And I was like, "Oh crap," you know. And but really, if you're buying retail sports boxes, Prism is number one. Prism is the box that you're gonna definitely want to buy. Prism, I would say Select number 2, and number 3 is Optic. For some reason, I think Optic is a little bit better with retail because you can pull downtowns and stuff in retail, which in those, if you pull the right cards, I pulled one. It was a Russell Wilson one, and at the time I pulled it, it was like $300-$400, but the box was $40, $50. So that's a good return on.
That's a huge return.
But you know how many boxes that I have to open to finally get that one. But then, you know, if you pull the right player, you can potentially pull $1,000 card. And so that's why I like Optic, because you have that chance of pulling the downtown. Like Prism, you don't have any of their case hits available in retail. And that's where I think they're printing so much of this retail that I think they should just shorten it up a little bit on the printing and just give us people better chances of pulling stuff, because then that'll get people in the hobby in the long run, you know, get people hooked on the small stuff. They start pulling some cool stuff here and there, and then that eventually that'll move on. But if they're just, you know, getting smoked on these boxes, it's not that fun, you know, and it doesn't want them to get deeper into the hobby, in my opinion.
Would you say that Prism's gonna be their best shot, people's best shot for basketball as well?
Yeah, it pretty much the same for all sports. Select, Prism, and Optic, and Prism is like the standard. Prism is number one. They've always been number one, and that's kind of like when you see people are spending, you know, pulling $100,000 cards, like the Brock Purdy 101 was just pulled. That was out of Prism. That is, the guys had offers for like 45 and 60,000, but he's holding out trying to sell it for 100K. Will it sell for 100K? I don't know. I probably would have took the 35, 45K easily and just ran, just because it's Brock Purdy and he hasn't really done too much yet. But out of Prism, that's where you're gonna pull the big stuff. Is out of Prism.
Is that across every sport?
Most sports in general, Prism. Yeah, Prism's good. I can't.
UFC's Prism's
Yeah,
the best.
UFC pretty much. Yeah, Prism for everything. Soccer has good products, but I don't open a lot of soccer at all, so I can't speak too much on soccer. But soccer does have Prism, and like that Prism was World Cup, and that was like one of their top products that when it came out. So I would assume Prism is pretty much
That one was trash. But no, we opened a Prism soccer hobby box.
Yeah.
Oh, remember the one
when
that
you got the other day.
Yeah, the one that I got.
How'd
the
you
other
do
day.
on this?
So I opened one and I kept the other. The one that I did open, I got a gold. One out of 10. What was that guy's name? The forward. Remember the one I sent you the gold card? I told you it was like
Firmino,
Firmino. That
Brazilian.
Was like,
Gold's always good. If you see gold, my heart gets racing. Whenever I say gold, my heart gets racing.
Not always, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been getting into these pack openings online on Instagram, and a couple nights ago I bought into a Contenders. It was a hobby and Contenders box opening.
Yeah.
And I got the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
And they had a bounty, a $300 bounty for a 101, and I got the 101. It was a $200. No, it was like 190. I think it was like a 190 entry, and then there was a $300 bounty for a 101, and I got the 101.
So you got a 101.
I was fucking hyped.
Oh,
Hold on, but I was fucking hyped, right? And I took a screenshot because this was live, and I was like, I'm gonna look it up later.
Yeah.
And after the stream was over and I looked it up, dude, this guy's one-on-ones are going for like $40, $50.
Bro, if post it, send it, we'll look after. I'll show you if you show me who it is. The thing about one-on-ones is there's only one of them. So if that guy has a fan, anyone, they will pay whatever amount for it because there's only one out there. And that's so crazy because me and Brian at the shop, everyone's pulled one-on-ones but me. I have yet to pull a one-on-one yet. And I don't know why. All my friends, like I've had buddies, they just started opening for 2 weeks. One guy pulled 2 one-on-ones in his first 2 weeks of opening. And, you know, some people, it's kind of like video lotto. I bet you guys know some people that just always are lucky on video lottery. I've never hit on video lottery either. So maybe I'm not, you know, lucky, but I don't know. I'm still searching for my one-on-one. So that's crazy that you got one. In a break, too.
I've been opening a lot more than a couple weeks, though. It's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
It's taken you a lot of time.
It's been a lot of money.
I'm still waiting on mine, too. That's crazy though that you did pull a 101.
I was
Congrats.
Dude, I was pretty hyped, dude.
It was at a Contenders?
Yeah, and yeah, it was at a Contenders. Let me see. Show you a picture.
Let's see. It was autoed or just a base card?
It was autoed.
Ooh. I wonder who it is. If it was Howell, that'd be big money because Sam Howell, his stuff is going up. Because obviously it's like the stock market. Sports, because everyone, that's how it got so hot during the pandemic, was everyone's thinking of it as an investment.
Datsun.
Oh, that's way more. What did you think it was worth?
Dude, they were. I'm not saying that one was
Yeah.
worth that, but they were posting these one-on-ones for like between like $40 and $60. But I think maybe not necessarily the player, but I think the brand, the Contenders series was maybe not very.
So
valuable.
Contenders is a top product. Contenders is a top, but this is a printing plate. So do you know what a printing plate is?
No.
This is what they use to print the card. So like, you know, that's like the template that they use, and then they use whatever machine, and that is the template for the card. So that's the printing. That's a good pull. John Dotson is a top player, top rookie. Yeah, you could probably. I would estimate you could at least get. You said you paid $190 to get in.
Yeah.
I could say you could probably get your money back at least.
You think so?
I think so.
I hope so. And then I got that $300. This was a shitty story.
Oh, then you won the bounty.
Hold on, this was a shitty story. So I got the $300 bounty, and then I wanted to open UFC, and no one on the stream wanted to open UFC.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He's like, well, you can get a Percy UFC box. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to spend that much money. But then I won the $300 bounty. Yeah. And he was selling the Prism hobby boxes UFC for like I think it was like $380, $360.
That's pretty fair.
And I was like, fuck it, you know, it's only gonna run me like $60.
Yeah.
So I bought a Percy. I ran a Percy UFC Prism hobby box, and he had 2 boxes left from the case that he had.
So the case hit was still alive too.
And the case hit was still alive. So there was 2, right? And one was on top of the other, and he goes, "Which one do you want, bottom or top?" And I said bottom.
I hate that.
And I got my 2 autos, right? I mean, I definitely got my $60-$80 worth. And then like an hour later, someone else, he's like, "Oh, that last UFC hobby box," and someone opened that as a Percy too. And the
Hasbula cards out of there going crazy. One of the gold ones sold for like $25K.
And they pulled this, dude. I wanted to cry, dude. I was so pissed.
Oh, that's sick. Do you know what it was numbered out of?
Out of 6.
Out of 6.
Yeah, I wanted to cry, dude.
Damn, dude.
I was so upset.
I would have been like,
I was so heated. I just got off the stream. I'm like,
well, bro, that's where I get too is if I'm starting to open stuff too, like in your scenario, you said there was 3 boxes left.
2 boxes.
2 boxes left. I hate to be the one to open it because usually on break stuff, they usually let the second person buy it because if the case hit is still alive, people will wait until people buy a couple boxes, and then once there's like 1 or 2 left, then they buy it. And that's the way I am in person too at the shop because if I know there's a bunch of boxes and I've already opened 2 or 3 and I still haven't pulled the case hit or anything good, and I'm like, man, it's still in there. Like I know it's in there, and something takes over in my head. It's like I just got to open them because I've already dumped money into it, haven't got what I got. So why would I make it easy for someone else to just come buy the last box with potentially the good thing in it? And so I usually do that, and most time it ends up screwing me over pretty well.
But that's the gambling part, dude. Because
it's
bitten me in the ass where there's like 4 boxes left, and we're doing like a group thing, and then the break's over, and they don't want to buy no more in. So then you can buy Percy's on it.
Yeah.
And the other day there was I think there was like 4 or 6 boxes left, and then me and this other dude just kept buying the boxes because they kept saying, "Oh, the hit hasn't came out. The hit hasn't came out." He's like, "I've never seen a case not have a hit." Well, we didn't get dick out of that.
See, I have strong opinions. Were you breaking on Whatnot, or was it on like Facebook?
It was
or
Instagram.
Instagram. I'm like anti-breaking for whatever reason. I don't think it's good for the hobby. There's I mean, it is good for the hobby, but some people are how do I word this? Like, there's a lot of shady people that do it too. Like, if you're breaking with some shady people, I saw the other day someone pulled a $5,000 card in a break. Guess what? The guy didn't send it.
Stop.
Happens all the time. People do that all the time. And one of the you probably heard Backyard Breaks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the biggest in the hobby, and they've only been around for like a year or two. And within their first couple of months, they pulled a gold Trevor Lawrence kaboom. It was rookie year kaboom out of 10. That was like a $20,000 card. They said they were giving it away. There's videos all online like, we're giving it away, we're giving it away, giving it away. They open it. They realize, oh, shit, there's a gold kaboom in there. They pull it, Trevor Lawrence. They're freaking out, and they're like, oh, we can't give this away. It's $20,000. And it's like, you already said you're giving it away to your fans. Like, anywhere else that would have killed you. No one would have want to break with you or anything, but that just made them 10 times bigger.
How?
I don't know. It blows my mind. I think they have some kind of backing or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that I hear about breaking that is like crazy. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it and a lot of shadiness behind the scenes. Anything else that would have killed that channel. There's no way. You just stole from your community. Why would anyone else want to go spend money with you? But then it blew them up and made them even bigger, which blows my mind. But yeah, I see it all the time. Every week, man, people are on Whatnot. They pull a big card and the guy just doesn't send it. And Whatnot doesn't do anything about it. The guy just refunds you your money and keeps the card.
Damn.
So you got to be...
You're never going to buy, but it's a big community, dude. So you don't care.
No one cares, especially if you're a small channel. Like, dang, you just pulled a $10,000 card. Why would I ship it off to that? And, but you would make way more in the long run because I bet you that kid's going to come back and spend $10,000 with you because he pulled a big card on your channel and he's stoked. But people are so about that instant money that they don't think about the long run, That could have been big publicity for him. Like, that kid would have posted, pulled it at this channel, pulled it in this channel, and more people would have came, but he got greedy and stole it. And it happens all the time with big channels. Like, there's a lot of shadiness and breaking that goes on. Like, it's wild.
That's crazy. I did see a video on that. I don't know whose channel it was, but they were in the middle of a break, and then the camera was like pointing down.
Oh
but
man,
I
see
like
those.
took it out. It was on Whatnot that I saw, but it was a clip.
They
on
did
YouTube.
what?
So they were opening up the packs, and the camera was facing down, and he saw that it was a gold card. So it's most likely it's going to be a pretty expensive card. But what he did was he kind of like put it up outside of the camera view, and he pulled it out, and then he put them back in, and then
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Tricked him.
But you could see it, right? So
damn,
they caught it, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. But that was just a clip that I saw. But that's crazy how that was like the bad part of the hobby.
It happens a lot of time, and I mean they obviously everyone's doing it because they're making money. The thing that makes me mad too is I'm in some like I don't know if that makes me like, I don't know the word for it, but I watch Backyard for just purely the entertainment, but I don't support anything they do because I'll see them, they'll be, they sell spots for two, they'll make a couple 100,000 in a night, but then like
couple 100,000.
I watch people go in there and spend 100,000 in a night, just one night. Like there's some whales that go in there and will spend 6 figures in a night, easy.
Jeez.
Just doming boxes. They'll buy like a $30,000 box, just like a couple of them, and like. But these guys obviously have more money to know what they do with. But then there's a scam behind that too, and. So what they do is they pull a bunch of cards and then they do a mystery pack night, which that guy that spent all that money will do a mystery pack with 100 cards. They'll auction off each spot, and then obviously there'll be some bangers and some or whatever. And then, each spot ends up selling for $2,000 to $5,000. You do the math times 100, but really that guy probably only put in $100,000 worth of cards, and so that's like a whole nother little scam too. Obviously the numbers weren't. I'm just kind of giving an example,
exactly.
but there's a lot of weird shadiness that goes on Backyard, and then they've getting exposed for having juiced hits because obviously Panini doesn't really want us to pull the big stuff because what fun is it? They don't get no publicity if we go pull $100,000 card in here and we didn't record it.
Yeah.
What's the fun in that? They want to make sure that these guys are pulling it on breaks so it goes viral on the internet and stuff like that. Like it's a whole business thing. So I've bought in on breaks a handful of times just to try it out, but I'd never buy in. I'm not really a supporter, you know. Like I don't know. It's weird.
That's crazy, dude.
It makes sense though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, with any business, when you're dealing with that much money, anything
Yeah.
could happen. You know, like
because they don't have to give it to you. You know, they don't have to give you if they get like a $20,000 one. You know, fuck it.
Because technically, everything on Whatnot's illegal. That's gambling. You know, they're doing they're doing these duck races for money. It's it's just kind of
What's a
loophole.
duck race?
So what these people will do is you'll enter for a duck race, and then if you win the duck race, you win a card. But that's essentially it's gambling.
Yeah.
And it's just a loophole that they do, and it's technically illegal and it's unregulated. So like you could do anything, and it doesn't matter.
Do you think that card openings are gambling?
Yo, 100
Considered gambling?
100%, 100%. It's the gambler's high. I get it all the time. Like
That's
if
why you like it, dude.
No, I know, but like to the law, is it gambling?
Oh no, like for us just opening like this.
Well, people that are doing it online where you can buy in.
Oh yeah,
that is considered.
Yeah, that's 100% gambling. Because I mean, you're paying.
That's like that gray line, then, right?
Yeah, it's a middle ground where because I mean you're paying to you're not guaranteed anything. You're paying to hopefully
Well,
at a
guaranteed
chance
shitty cards,
to win something. But
You're
most of the time
guaranteed
you don't get
cards.
anything.
You're guaranteed cards. It just doesn't mean that they're gonna have any value.
And then, they go around and they promote all the big hits that they get. But I watch them for a couple hours and they don't pull anything, that crazy in a couple hours. But everyone thinks it's a get quick rich scheme where they can just go in, spend the money on a bunch of breaks, and then they're going to pull a $30,000 card and get lucky. But it's not that easy. Like, it's not.
You gotta go through a lot
do you-
really. It's like when you gamble. You spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
You might.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. I watch those people that spend $100,000 in a night. They maybe get $5,000 in cards back, if that, But like those guys obviously have more money than they know what to do with.
Do you know who Hasbula is?
Who?
Hasbula.
The little
UFC guy,
Yeah, the little guy, right? Yeah.
His right this year, because the UFC hobby box, they
Yeah.
just released it. Is it 2023 or is it 2022?
I think it's 2022.
I think it's 2023.
Might be 2023.
They just released it like a week and a half ago, and 2 days into the box release, they pulled, because that's like the most expensive UFC card. They pulled this one out.
So about that, you probably saw that it sold for $25K, huh?
No, I didn't see. I was gonna ask
Okay.
you if you knew how much it sold for.
So it's going around on the internet that it sold for $25K just so that it boosts sales to that box. Obviously, oh crap, that's a $25,000 card. But really, that's the shitty thing with eBay too.
Doesn't it lower the box's value though? Because that's like the chase card. So it's like you're not getting the card anymore.
Essentially, yeah, kind of. But you would think so, but not as much because there's still other hits in there too that are big hits. But with eBay, let's say you post a pair of shoes for an auction. Technically, if I went in and did $100,000 bid, it will end at that, and it'll show that it sold at $100,000.
Then you don't pay it.
Yeah, then I don't pay for it. And so that's what happened with the Hasbula card is obviously it's a meme. It's funny because it's Hasbula, and I think someone bid it up just to $25,000 for fun, saw that it sold, but the guy didn't actually pay for it. From what I heard, I could be wrong, but from what I heard, it didn't get paid for, but people are still posting it everywhere because it's good promotion, Like,
Do you don't think it'll sell for that then? That amount?
No
It
way.
could. I mean, it's hype.
That's big
It's
hype.
I mean,
he is hype.
only reason it would be a horrible investment because that
Oh, for sure.
like
He's
if
not
you're
even
buying obviously if someone's buying that for 25,000 again because they have fuck you money, it doesn't matter, but like that card I would say even in 6 months from now I'd say maybe a couple thousand. I would probably say less, but just because of the hype it'll probably be there. But once the product's been out for a couple months and everyone's forgotten about them, it's just gonna go down, 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 down.
Because there's different levels, just like in this prism, there's like different levels. There's like the base one, and then there's a silver one, and then there's like special. I don't, what do they call them? There's
Parallels. There's different parallels.
there's
Every color's a different number. You know.
so
Yeah,
each
I
each
know.
one it's worth a little bit more money, but even the base Hasbula is going for like 30 to 40 bucks on eBay.
Yeah, I saw his auto.
That's
I
crazy.
think his auto is selling for like $1,000, which is pretty crazy.
I think I saw it. I saw the red.
Red shimmer.
Yeah, that one sold for I think it was 3,500 bucks.
Yeah, but see, then if that one, I think red is out of 5, if I'm correct. At most sports,
I think it's 35.
35. It's all different with all sports and stuff, but if that one sold for 3,500 and had an autograph, why would an out of 10 sell for 25,000?
Are the autos an actual autograph from the guy?
Yeah, but
Or
so
is
that's another thing too. Is some autos are sticker autos. So what they do is they'll send you a big pile of stickers. You just sign the stickers. They make the card and they put the sticker on the card. Those are worth less. And then some of them have on-card autos where that Messi actually touched that card, held that card, and signed that card. So those are worth like obviously a little
How
more.
can you tell the difference?
You can see the sticker.
You can,
Yeah, you can see the sticker pretty clearly.
I see.
Yeah.
But on, I forgot what I was gonna ask. Never mind.
Damn, dude.
It was before the auto thing.
So I was telling him earlier when we were talking, right? I asked him, I'm like, I feel like now the market is just starting to like get exaggerated because there's a lot of autos, there's a lot of numbered, and I mean you see slabs selling for like 10, 15 bucks. I mean, what do you think about that?
About what?
Being exaggerated, the market.
I think right now, I think it's just different. I think right now it's hype. I think that social media has a lot to do with it. Now that you're able to do a lot more breaks, like there's so many websites that are involved in this now, where everything is so much easier. It's so much more accessible to the general public than it was before. Before you would be scared to buy from eBay because it wasn't authenticated. It could be fake, and then they could screw you out of your money, out of buying a 3, 4, 5, even more expensive dollar box. But now you can buy it from a third-party app where they will authenticate it, and I think that is there's a combination of a lot of things. It's a combination of that, and then social media, and then these box openings that are going on online. I think it's just a lot more accessible. I think that during COVID times, I think that was like the height of the cards, and everything was super expensive. Pokemon, basketball, I mean, everything was super expensive. And I think that everything's going down a little bit more. Everything's been going down a little bit.
It's
and
correcting.
It's correcting.
It's like the
that's where I
stock
was
market.
going
Yeah.
with it. It's correcting at this point. But I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna crash anytime. I think.
I'm not saying crash. I
So what he's asking, I think I understand what you're asking.
Yeah.
So the 80s and 90s, we call that the junk wax era.
And that was what I was gonna say too.
That's kind of what we're getting into right now. That I
Okay.
think we're getting into the junk slab era because people are getting base cards graded. That base card really, if you sell it raw, a couple bucks depending on who it is, but then you got to spend 15, 20, 25 bucks to get it graded, whatever it is, at the time. But just because you got it graded, it doesn't make it, a $5 card, a $40 card. Someone's losing on that end. Whoever paid money to get that graded is someone's losing at some end of the chain. And so I think we're going to end up with a lot of just junk slabs just because people just are mass sending stuff in from the pandemic because everything was selling for so much. Like, I can't personally speak too much about the pandemic because I wasn't too into it during the pandemic, but I know a lot of what was happening back then. So I'm assuming that's what is happening is just people were making so much money back then just grading whatever because whatever it would sell for whatever. But now we're printing so much cards, so much stuff that only in a couple years from 5-10 years from now, the only stuff that's going to be worth anything is the numbered stuff because it's going to be rare.
because not too long ago, you see slab, and it's like, oh shit, you would assume as an average Joe that it was expensive,
Yeah.
right? That was the first thing you thought about. It's graded
Because
it must be expensive.
The only reason you would grade it is because it was expensive.
So my point is that it's just getting to that point where there's so many graded ones, whether they're worth some or not. A lot of autos, a lot of numbered ones, and a lot of numbered as in players are not the best,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like that the value's not there, right?
Yeah.
You have to get the right players,
You
right?
have to get the right players.
It's the stock market too. Like give a good example, Cameron Thomas. He played for the Nets, pretty much a nobody all year. Randomly, he plays 4 games. He dropped 50 points each of those 4 games. His stuff went through the moon. And guess what? 3 weeks later, he was right back on the bench not playing, and his prices are down.
That's
People
crazy.
just buying on the hype, like Brock Purdy. You could have stuck anybody in as a quarterback for the 49ers, and just as long as they didn't mess it up, he's probably going to win with that defense, you know? But the hobby, just like for at least football, they just always need a quarterback to latch on to. Else it's not fun, you know, because you're ripping that the quarterback is where all the value's at in football. You know, you go to receivers, running backs, their stuff isn't worth that much compared to quarterbacks, you know, which is crazy. And so that's just what it is. Like it's a lot. It's like the stock market. Someone does good a couple games, stuff's gonna shoot up, and then I have another great example. I had a Cade Cunningham card. There's only 5 in the world. I have one of them, rookie card, and at the time I got it, it was selling for like $1,400. One of them sold and it was around like $1,400. He tears his ACL out for the season. Next sale I see on that card, $700. Instantly, just because he tore his ACL, someone got scared, sold it, and so now there's still only 5 in the world, but now when I go to sell that card, someone's just going to look at that most recent sale and then they're going to base it off that. But it's like, that's where it's hard to, people.
So is this your full time
Yeah.
selling cards?
Yeah, I'm pretty much full time.
With experience, what would you recommend or suggest, right? Like you mentioned earlier, do you hold on it or do you just sell quick since you're doing this for a living, basically, right?
Yeah. Basically, I'm full time. That's a hard one because a lot of the times I've sold fast and it's bit me in the ass. A lot of times I've held, it's bit me in the ass. But mostly I would say just sell fast. If you can get a profit on it, sell it. Don't, I can give you an example on both sides and where it bit me in the ass. I pulled this Julio Rodriguez logo fractor. At the time I pulled it, it was selling for like $1,200 to $1,400. I went to a show a week or so later. It was down to $700-800, and I was like, "Oh man, like it's going down like pretty fast, And it wasn't at the time. I didn't think it was like obviously I was super excited to pull it. It was probably one of my biggest pulls at the time, but the price is going down, and so I sold it for $900. So I still got over what it was at, so I sold it to some guy. He got it graded. It got a PSA 10, and I forget about the card. I wait. Probably 2 months, and I'm just curious. I go look and what that card's selling for now. That card raw was selling for $2,500 now.
Oh, damn.
And the guy I sold it to got a 10. He sold it for $5,000.
Damn.
I sold it to him for $900. He turned around, graded it at 10. He sold it for $5,000. There's no real reason why that card just shot up overnight. Because I think what came out, it came out of that it was a low. It was already a rare card to get, but the actual print run came out, and so they figured out like there's really not that many of them, so that shot the price up. And at the time in summer, Julio Rodriguez for the Mariners, he was huge for baseball. He's baseball's #1 guy everyone was buying, and so that one I really, really regret. That's like my biggest regret on selling. I should have kept that card, but I still made money. The box I pulled it out of cost me $140. Sold it for $900. I still made $700-800. So technically that's still a win.
A big win.
But then
But that's the gamble you have, right?
that's the gamble, especially with sports. Especially nowadays, these guys are getting arrested for, domestic violence, DUIs. They're tearing an ACL.
Yeah.
John Morant, good
Strip
excuse.
clubs.
His stuff, going to strip clubs, showing guns. He gets suspended. His stuff instantly goes down because of that. Like it's like the stock market, but it happens quick. As soon and the same thing happened with the Cade. I had that Cade card. It was well over $1,000. Only 5. He tears an ACL. He's out. I still have that card. That card's in grading right now. I sent it in to get graded just because it would help the value go up on it, because it's like, well, I already, it already went down almost 70%, 40% or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it bites you either way. But for me personally, I just try to sell quick now. If I can get a profit out of it, live to fight another day, that's fine with me.
Don't
Course.
talk about Joe Morant like that. That's his number one fan right
Oh,
there.
I like Morant, man. He's cool.
I'm-
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just-
Personally, I mean, I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but personally, I was hoping that he was going to get suspended because I am a Ja Morant fan, and it's going to be easier for me to buy into some of his big cards because they're going to go down, and I would buy, and that's a
tough,
good time
though,
to
dude.
buy.
When that happened, like, there's no way in saying if he's really even gonna come back.
Yeah, you know, like it, and then now some people are
That's
scared.
risky. I'd be scared if I was holding some one-on-ones of him or anything expensive.
Especially too, because if he's suspended, you know, now you have to like Trey Lance. My first big pull on my YouTube channel. I think the video has like 7,000 views now, but my first big pull is a Trey Lance. I'm screaming. It was his rookie year, and I'm just getting into cards. So like, I just saw a Trey Lance auto. I thought I was, you know, up like 10,000. You know, like I thought I was the man. You know, and so I'm all excited. I pull it after, you know, I end the video. I go look it up, and you know, it's a $700 card. I pulled it, and Trey Lance gets hurt. That card immediately went down to like 180. And I actually just sold it last weekend at the show. I think I sold it for 220.
Damn.
Like I wanted to keep it. Honestly, I don't know why because I've already held it so long. Football is only like 5-6 months away. I should have just kept holding it, but I was just kind of tired of looking at it, and it just brought back the bad memories. But that's another thing, you know. I could have held it until he came back, but that's a lot of time. Football's off season's like almost a year long. You know, and even if then you hold it and then he ends up not even being good anyway, you just wasted all that time. So it's hard.
Damn.
That's tough.
You mentioned that you sent him to grade, right?
Yeah.
Which company do you go for?
So I just sent in, actually, there's a couple of different companies, and we can talk about that too, like how weird the hobby is about who you send your stuff to get graded by.
It's like a bulletproof case, huh?
Yeah. Dude, one time I was at this big show in Burbank, and I had about like 15, maybe close to $20,000 in cards in here, and I was at a table going through trying to find some deals, and we didn't get the deal done, and I just walk off.
Ooh.
And I'm walking, and I'm like, you know that feeling when like I feel like I'm like missing something, you know? And then I realize like, oh, I don't have my case. I turned around, sprinted back to that table. Like, thank God it was still there, but I had a lot of money and cards in there at that time, and yeah, that was terrifying. But so this was my first time. I sent this. This was a LeBron James rookie card. You guys can show the camera. You guys can
Take a picture.
pass it around. I actually had 3 of those cards at once. I just sold the other one this weekend.
I saw that you sold one.
Yeah,
of
this
these
one's.
weekend.
But so that's his rookie card, and the centering is off. Centering is huge when you are sending cards in to get graded. That's like the main thing they're gonna ding you on is the centering, and the centering's off on that one. So I was hoping one of them. I sent in 2. I was hoping one of them was gonna get a 9, but they both got 8s. So that kind of sucked. But I sent that to SGC, and the reason why I did SGC, they're kind of a newer company, but for that specific card, if I to grade that one, it was only going to cost me, I think it was $25 a card, so $50 for 2 of them, and then they guaranteed a 2-week turnaround time, which is quick. And so I got them back in like 2 weeks, but usually if you're trying to make money, like PSA. Obviously, it's PSA. I sent a lot of my big cards into PSA. That's why I sent them in right now. They're more expensive, and they take a whole lot longer. And the whole reason I did it with that is because it was going to be cheaper. I was going to get it back faster. But for whatever reason, with that card, PSA and SGC graded cards sell for relatively the same, maybe like $50 to $60 more. So I was saving time and money. That's why I sent it to them.
Would you say that that's your personal collection, that card, or no?
So that's hard. Recently, I'm thinking I'm going to stop selling a lot of my big cards because usually if I see money, I can make money on it, I'm just going to sell it because I could always go buy another one. So I'm trying to get better at just holding cards that I like because I'm kind of low on stuff right now just because I just, if someone offers me money for it, I got to take it because I don't know.
Would you consider yourself a collector still?
Yes.
Now that you sell, that you're in the business.
Yeah, that's actually my goal is to stop selling some of my bigger stuff, and then just, flip the small stuff or whatever, the stuff that I get for personally flipping, because right now I bring a case, I sell everything. If one of my favorite cards, I've sold like some of my favorite cards that I was excited to have just because the money was there and I know I could get another one. And actually I could, like my Justin Herbert rookie year downtown. I'm a huge Chargers fan. That was one of my favorite cards. I sold it. I picked it up at time. I bought it for 1,800. I think I sold it for like 2,000, whatever, made like $200. But now I can go buy that same exact card for like $1,200.
He's down right now.
Yeah, Herbert's down big right now. It's just because we were hurt all year last year. Like Herbert's down a lot.
I love downtowns. Downtowns are sick.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite types of cards too is the downtowns.
So everything affects it, right? Whatever the season, the player, the injury,
Everything,
drama,
man. Everything,
arrested.
everything.
What about like if someone like gets arrested? Does it go down or does it go up?
It's gonna go down, but for some reason there's weird people out there like Henry Ruggs. He
No, I don't know.
So he was a top player out of Alabama for the Raiders, a receiver. He came in, was playing for the Raiders. I think he played one season, and then in his second year off season, got into he was driving a Rolls Royce like 150 miles per hour, killed like 3 people. He's in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
But people still buy his stuff. Like it's low, it's cheap, but people will buy it because they're kind of weird and like collecting stuff like that.
Well, that was my question because I feel like there's just random people that just like it, dude. They're like, oh, I just want to buy it because it's part of history or it's part of whatever, whether it's good or bad.
You gotta think about it. There's a lot of collectors out there, so there's people collect random things. Like it's funny, You may think like that 101, you may not think that's like a big card, but there's probably a big Johan Dotson fan out there that'll pay big money for that card.
I would people that are not around anymore that I would probably still collect their cards would be that dude that was from the Buccaneers that doesn't play anymore. He was going from team to team. What was his name? I forgot his name.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I would buy one of his. Are his pretty spendy?
I haven't looked at his stuff recently. I would imagine it's probably not too much.
Probably not too much.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the Hispanic dude, Hernandez.
What about
Hernandez.
him?
That's actually funny. I have never actually looked up any of his cards. Actually,
I haven't either.
I just feel like.
Can I look it?
Yeah,
look it
up
right now.
Yeah, we want to see.
Let's see. Let's see what Aaron Hernandez like Otto's going for right now.
That's crazy. Yeah. I don't know, dude.
Aaron.
Damn, dude, I'm gonna have to break the seal, man. My bad, guys.
Dang.
You're good. I was gonna ask. You guys don't mind if I vape on here?
Oh,
right?
no, you're good.
You're
Okay.
good, dude.
I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, someone's selling a rookie one right now for $70.
Have there always been one of ones, or is that something a little bit newer?
They've had them for a
while.
Yeah. So Aaron Hernandez, you can get some of his, even a rookie auto, depending on what grade type of card. Like, if you just want just a basic Aaron Hernandez auto, you can get one. It seems like for under $50, But like, I think the most expensive one, there's a PSA 9 for like $80. So it's not too
Cheap
expensive.
stuff,
But
yeah.
people, I mean, they're buying. May 3rd, May 3rd, May 3rd, May 5th, May 5th,
Oh,
May
damn.
5th. Like, his stuff's even been selling today.
Was that you, dude? Was that probably you?
April
I would
30th.
buy it. I would.
He's like, I bet one to buy one. Yes.
Bro, yeah, his stuff's been selling April 22nd, April 21st, so people buy that stuff.
You're checking on eBay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, damn, dude.
So, do you guys know a lot about, like, should we talk about if people want to know how to find the prices of the cards and stuff
that's
like
what I
that?
was gonna
yeah.
tell you.
That's we're gonna.
So before you get in that, because when I started collecting cards, I started with Pokemon, and I got back into the hobby like 3 years ago. But are you familiar with Pokemon?
No, I want to, though, just because that just expands,
So Pokemon is the easiest thing to get into.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because there's an app, or not an app, it's a website. It's called Pokedata.
Pokedata.
And with Pokemon, they release like a different generation of cards. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I know it's just like football and stuff where there's different sets that come out all the time.
Different sets. And these sets, but they're all coming out from the same company. It's not like not like Prism and different brands.
Yeah.
Not like that. It's just one company that does it, but there's different generations, different sets of Pokemon cards, right?
Yeah.
So one set can be a dud, and like the most expensive card, the chase card, could be like
I know.
under
I know.
$100.
Yeah, I know. Umbreon's hot right now.
The Umbreon from Evolving Skies, that
Yeah.
dude, they just sold. This is crazy. Talking about how things fluctuate. I think it was a couple months ago. Is it Beckett that has a black label?
Yeah,
They sold
that's
up.
so hard to get a black
They
label.
sold a 10 tens across in Beckett. They're the ones that grade the card like 4 different times. They grade like the centering.
Yeah,
They
I'd actually have a Beckett one in here. Let's see. Do I? Sorry. You guys can keep talking while I look through here.
so it grades like 4 different
Oh, right here,
things.
LeBron.
But
That's a big one.
this see this is elite elite of the
Yeah.
elite, so it has centering, edges, corners, and surfaces. And then if it has an auto, it'll rate the auto. And then the black label, this instead of this, it's all black. And it's like super hard. So it's like the most expensive. It's the most expensive card you can get of whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
getting a
I've seen
black
that with
label.
Beckett, yeah.
Getting a black label is so hard.
I-
So hard.
I can take a picture of that too, so I can post it on the video. But the Umbreon had sold for $12,500.
What?
Because of the black label.
Because
Like
of the
there's
black label.
there's some cards that say, cards selling for $1,000, but if it gets a black label, that card's probably selling
But
for
that's
5,000.
that's good that they do that though, because Alan and I were talking about it a while back. Is people been breaking slabs? They get an 8, send it back. They get a 10, same
Yeah.
card. So it's like everyone makes mistakes. So
And that's the
having-
thing too with grading. Some people are so anti. So there's a lot of people that are anti-grading just for that reason. Just because I've seen it a million times. Someone will get an 8, they crack it, send it in, they get a 10, and it's like, how does that happen? And it's really a lot of people say it's just how that guy's feeling that day. Like if he got laid the night before, the girl ain't fighting with him, and he's having a good day, just give it a 10.
That's what it is. Because at the end of the day, it's humans.
Yeah.
They're doing their job.
Yeah.
For us, like, oh, that's pretty cool, but they do it every day.
Yeah.
And they get thousands. They get overwhelmed. They're tired. It's just
Exactly.
a job for them. And
Yeah.
at that point, it's like, are they really putting their effort, or is just another average Joe there
Exactly.
working at a
And
place?
that's what it is.
A 9 to 5 that he's got his life. He's stressed out. He probably doesn't have his shit together, or whatever the scenario is. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it, right?
Yeah.
So what is it? So yeah, I mean
It's hard just because exactly, it's
so the Beckett, that's pretty cool. It's
yeah. Getting a black label is hard. PSA, I actually just sent in my first PSA submission, and if you get a 10, that's where you're gonna make your money. So in one of the cards I sent in is a Patrick Mahomes downtown, and it looks really good. Like I have high confidence it'll get a 10, but raw, that card's selling for like $550. If it gets a 10, I can sell that card for like $1,500 just because it got a 10.
But if it gets a 9,
But if it gets a 9, then it's probably I guess I can look right now. Let's see. I would
if I were
imagine
to
it'll go up.
guess-
It's going to be a little bit. I would say probably 6 to 7.
I was gonna say 7.
Do you sell a lot of raw a lot easier than slabs, or?
It's both. I like to, slabs kind of move. If I get like good slabs in, they'll move like that. Like I'll post them on Instagram and they'll move, or like Discord and stuff like that. They'll move pretty fast if they're a decent price. Raw, there's a lot of people that like to buy raw just because they can get that chance of sending in to get graded to get a 10, and that's where you make your money.
I
So,
see.
The problem is most of these people have a pretty good eye, right? So if they're buying these super expensive cards or pulling these super expensive cards like him, he can probably look at a card and he can probably say this might not get a 10, so he'll sell
Yeah.
it raw.
Yeah.
So most likely the people that are selling them raw, like there's a reason why they're selling them raw. So it's very unlikely that you'll be able to.
Yeah,
grade it.
that's the thing too, where sometimes I get scared buying raw just because if it's a big card, why didn't you get it graded?
Exactly.
So I'm always skeptical, but there's some people where they just don't want it because it gets expensive to grade stuff sometimes. Like my buddy Brian, he just sent in a pretty big card like that. So that logo fracture I told you about, he got his hands on one. And I don't really want to put out what he paid for it or anything, but essentially he got it graded and they upcharged him on the grading because of how much it was worth after,
allegedly.
since he got a 10 on it.
Yeah.
So
Do you think these companies are gonna be around for long? Who's the one that told us? Were you the one that was talking about it?
Yeah.
About the having the machine in stadiums
That
and
was
have
me. Yeah.
was that you?
Yeah. They had just, I forgot what grading company. I don't remember. I think it was
ASG,
ASG, I think,
right?
or something like that. That they had bought a machine where you put your
They
card
had
into the
invented a
machine.
machine.
So I was in Vegas. I went to Vegas for a card show back in November, like Thanksgiving weekend, and I went to a card shop there, and they kind of did have a machine like that. It kind of looked like a photo printer or photocopy or whatever, and you put your card in there, and it'll kind of give you like an estimate grade on it, you know. So, you know, you can put it in there and you can, you know, estimate, you know, this and that. And so it'll kind of give you something to base it off. And Beckett will do that too. If you go to a card show, Beckett set up, you don't have to get it slabbed. You can, if you're kind of worried about it and you don't want to get it, pay all the money to get it slabbed and then have it come back a bad grade for you to just to take it out. You can do a pre-card review where you send it in raw and they'll look at it and they'll be like, okay, you know, this might get a 9 or 9.5, you know, or whatever. So that, then you're confident to go send it in to get it graded. So you get it like reviewed. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. But yeah, what a lot of people do is they buy raw cards, send them in to get graded, hope a couple get 10s, and then you made money.
Who do you think works at those places? The grading company? Is it like
It's normal Joe's.
Okay, that's
I would imagine.
Right?
Because, I mean, you don't go to college. There's no like college to go grade cards or, you know, what actually was, I know this is kind of off topic, but it's kind of the same thing. I was at a card show and this guy was set up. He had a couple of cards, but what his main hustle was cleaning cards and getting them ready for grading. You don't have to go to college for that. And this guy was backed up for hours. He was charging $10 a card and he would clean your card. You know, he had some kind of material and like some wax and stuff. He'd spray, put some wax on, wipe it down, make it look beautiful. He'll look at it under like, you know, like a microscope type thing, see if there's any scratches, and he'll tell you, yes, send this in, or no, send this in. And I gave him 5 cards and it took him 3.5 hours because he was so backed up. So
oh wow.
$10 a card, you do the math. That guy was making bank, and you don't even have to go to college for that. He wasn't even there to sell cards. He was just there to clean them and help people send them in to get grades.
I just feel like just having an average Joe, at least for me, dude, I'd be like there. I'm like, you know what? I could give it a 10 or a 9, but I don't really like the player. You know, I'm gonna give him an 8.
Exactly. No,
Because
I
dude, it's
guarantee you.
people.
I
That's
guarantee you
literally
that
what
happens.
happens.
I guarantee you
Like-
100% that happens. Or if you send them a huge order and it's just a pain in the ass order, like you messed up, you didn't put them in like the right way.
They're gonna give you 8.
Just
Yeah.
screw it, you know?
Like,
Like,
this guy's name's Jorge. I don't really like Jorge.
Yeah,
Fuck this
screw
guy.
him.
No, it's
87.
because he's got a good point. It's like you didn't send him in the right way because you have to send him in a specific way,
you
right?
have to, you know, so I just did it. What you have to do is you have to print out the paperwork and you put in each card in the database, and then you have to stack them in that order on the list. And you can't send them in a top loader. You have to send them in a certain sleeve. And if you put them in a top loader, they charge you extra and it takes longer. And so if you didn't put them in order on your submission form, then that just makes their work harder for them. I mean, not technically too much harder. You just, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a huge deal, but maybe that guy was already having a bad day. He's like, screw it.
Yeah, it's just their job. It's just
Yeah.
even any job, even if it's a small thing that you have to do different, or like, dude, you should already know this is what it is.
Because they grade fake card. They authenticate fake cards all the time. They do it all the time where they've been exposed for, you know, authenticating fake stuff. Like the Logan Paul situation where
Yep.
he got all the G.I. Joe cards. So that guy, BBC, that guy, he put his stamp of approval. It's legit, all this stuff. And you open it, it's G.I. Joe. And it's like, well, what are you getting paid for? What did you look at? Like, why did you authenticate it? You know,
Yeah.
like that fell
That's
on you,
crazy,
bro.
dude.
Like, and that's a $3 million, you know, screw up.
What do you think about the small companies? Like, do you like them? Like all these grading companies, the newer ones, if there's newer ones.
There's a lot of them. A lot of them popped up during the pandemic just because PSA was backed up for like I heard people were waiting like a year,
Over a
like
year.
6 months, a year for
Over
their
a year.
stuff. They were so backed up, and so a lot of these little companies saw this, you know, that okay, let's pop up and there's a demand for it. Let's start a business. The only thing that sucks is just PSA is the standard, and you lose money on grading cards with other companies like that. People pay like SGC. SGC is good for vintage like cards like that. Like that's fine, but like with modern stuff, it kills the price. You know, let's say like you know, $1,000 card in a PSA slab, it's probably going to sell for 700-800 if it's an SGC 10, you know, just because PSA is, you know, even Beckett's cheaper than you know, if it's in a Beckett slab, it's still going to be cheaper than PSA.
Do you think they're ever gonna go not out of business, but do you think the level of all these other companies is gonna rise up, or
I hope so, because I mean, a lot of the companies now are using like AI and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
so that takes out that person having that bad day and just grading your card shit just because you had a bad day. So a lot of these people they're trying to use AI and stuff like that to grade cards, which we'll see how that ends up going.
I think there will be one company that makes it nice,
Yeah.
you know, appealing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, that's how I see it. There's so
Yeah.
many other companies coming out now.
It's just wild to me that there's just that huge of a price difference just by who you grade with, you know, and like I see people that grade with some of these weird off smaller companies, which is fine that you're supporting them, but if you're just losing value. On
If
the
you're trying to
card.
flip,
yeah,
then PCA.
PSA
Or
like,
PCA. PSA.
But what a lot of people do too is some kid did it the other day. This kid, I follow him. He's he's big in the card game. He's like 14. He bought a Giannis rookie card. It was like a BGS 9.5. He took it at that time in a BGS 9.5. It was a $5,000 card. He had the cojones to crack it, take it out of the slab, sent it to PSA. It came back a 10. How much do you think that card was worth?
14.
16. He sold it for 16,000.
That was pretty
Turned
close.
to $5,000. Kid was 14. Just cracked it out of the slab because it was a 9.5. Sent it to PSA because Beckett is really strict. That's why that black label that people pay so much extra, because Beckett hardly gives out 10s, like very hard. So usually a Beckett 9.5. Most of the time, you know, if you get lucky, PSA will probably grade it a 10. So some people do that too. They crack 9.5, send them to PSA, and hope they get a 10.
That's crazy, dude.
But that big of a price.
Is it more
jump, too.
expensive to send on Beckett, or is it the same as?
I think it's cheaper.
I would imagine it's probably all pretty close. I haven't got anything graded personally from Beckett, so I can't say, but I know it's usually like $20 a card, somewhere around there, and it honestly goes off the value of the card too. With PSA, like if you have a $10,000 card, it's probably going to cost you $5,000 to grade it. But then another thing I've thought about, like, what if some average Joe pulls like, you know, a $10,000 card and they don't have the money to grade it? You know, like, what do they do there? You know, like, it's a weird situation.
Well, the people from we were just watching this Netflix documentary.
It's not a documentary.
It's a show.
It's a show. It's got 6 episodes.
Is it with Golden?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch it. I was actually probably
Oh,
going to
dude,
watch
it's
it tonight.
nice.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. But in the show, there's this kid that pulls a F1.
Oh no.
It's F1,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a F1 card. And he shows these guys. It's a 1-of-1. I forgot what the racer is, but this kid
Probably like Lewis Hamilton or something.
started racing when he was like 15.
Yeah.
And these guys essentially were the brokers, and they flew him out. Where are they from? Atlanta or Florida?
No, they were from France, dude.
No, the Golden guys.
Golden
New
auction?
Jersey.
New
Yeah,
Jersey,
they're
yeah.
New Jersey.
Golden's in New Jersey.
They flew him out to New Jersey. The kid and his dad. I don't know how it was. He was probably like 14, 15 too.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the card was worth. Well, the guy ended up saying that the card was worth. I think No, that one they didn't even grade. I don't know what the deal was, but one day the auction company ended up sending it to PSA, and the auction company paid for it to get graded.
So that's what they'll do. They'll sponsor it, but then you have to sell it on their site.
You sell it on their site, but realistically, I would say that it's a lot safer selling it on their site than it would be for you to sell it on eBay.
Yeah, there's also, that's a whole nother thing too, is there's a lot of sketchy thing that goes on Golden. There's a company in Hillsboro that's pretty big, PWCC. They're a big auction house for cards and other stuff. A lot of those places get accused of shill bidding and stuff too, you know? You know what shill bidding is?
No.
So let's say all of us, we have a card. We post it on eBay.
LeBron James 3 patch.
Yeah, we have the triple logo,
triple
man.
logo.
And we post it, and let's say, you know, we expect it to get $1 million, but on auction with a day left, it's pretty low. We make a bunch of fake eBay accounts or fake accounts, and we start bidding it up so that it gets higher. You know, you're putting fake bids in there so it sells higher. And a lot of those places have been actually called out for doing that.
Oh yeah.
That's huge too. There's a Probstein on eBay. If you look for any card on eBay, he's a consigner. It's probably on his page. I bought cards from him, but he's been accused of it too. So that's why I'm always scared of auctions on eBay, because everyone shill bids nowadays, and so you end up overpaying a bunch.
True. I always thought about it because I always said it. I mean, anything that happens at a low scale, it happens in the big scale. It's just, how do you do it? You know.
I feel like I've been talking a lot of negative stuff about the hobby. The hobby is not, and I don't want to say the hobby's not a super negative place, but I do like to point out some of the stuff because a lot of people don't see that stuff. They just think peaches and cream, but there is a lot of sketchiness that goes on in the hobby.
But that's good. You know, I mean, people are going to appreciate it. You know,
Yeah,
people that are getting into the hobby, people that are new, people that are just want more information. I mean, this is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing negative. I
yeah.
mean, if you like it, you like it. You'll get you're pretty much telling people, just watch out for this.
Yeah, just you got to really, really watch out for yourself.
What your experience was, they could,
Yeah, just be careful with anything, and don't trust a lot of people, because I mean, I actually just this weekend at a card show, I had $700 worth of cards stolen from me. I didn't even know.
I saw that you posted something like a few cards were stolen,
yeah,
right?
Dude, I didn't even know for 2 days.
Yeah. So you were at Twin Oaks, right?
Yeah, we're at Twin Oaks at the Lloyd Center, and I had just bought a huge collection. And there was a couple of big cards in there. A lot of them I sent off to PSA. And then I had a couple of them that I didn't send off. There was a Paulo Panchero rookie auto. There's a Tyrese Halliburton rookie auto. And then there was a Bobby Witt. I don't know if it was his rookie card, but it was out of 25. So super low number. Not that many out there. Told up, then, there was like 700 cards. And how I even found out was because someone was interested in the Halliburton. So I'm looking for it. And I'm like, where is it? And then I got a notification on eBay that the Paulo sold. And I was like, oh, great. Well, let's go look for the Paulo. And I'm like, where's the Paulo? And then I noticed like the Bobby Witt. And I'm like, bro, where are all these cards at? And then I just couldn't find them anywhere. They were all in that box. And it was early morning. We were running late when I got there. And usually I have a case where I can open it up and I can pull cards out and show people.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I forgot I didn't have enough time to grab it before the show. And so I just laid a lot of cards out on the table. But what happened was that I had like a little value box too, where I keep a lot of like $5 to $20 stuff in there. And those cards were like in the back somewhere, so I didn't see them right away. And it was the morning. And so I left them in there by accident. I think someone just, when I was busy doing a deal, they just put them in their pocket or something, which sucks, Like, I trust a lot of people, and.
Do you think that happens a lot in shows?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's another kid I do business with at that Twin Oaks show, and he's like, man, I've gotten like over 10 cards stolen from me like so far. Like he's like, I've had a lot of cards stolen from me, and so you really do gotta pay attention.
Do you go with someone else, or is it just always you by yourself?
I usually go with a buddy because technically I don't drive, so they, I catch a ride up with them and go to them. But yeah, I usually go
That's
with
what I was gonna
people.
say. The best thing you could do, I think, with going to shows like that is going with someone else. There has to be 2 people in your booth, and then getting cool with the guys next door to you, so you can keep an eye on their shit.
Because people are slick, man. They'll probably distract you and just.
Yeah, because I didn't even know. Like, one little kid was messing around with me, too. Like, I always do business with him. He's a little 10-year-old kid. He was always trying to hustle. Like,
Is he the one you lost the flip to?
Yeah, bro. The kid fucking got me, dude. I didn't even want that card. Like, me and him are fighting. I'm like, bro, like, the card was selling for like $500 all day. And I was like, honestly, dude, I need it for like $400 because I'm going to turn around and sell it for like $450 to $460 just to get it gone quick because I don't really want it. And he's like, no, I need $420, $440. And I was like, bro, I need it for $400. You're better off going somewhere else just because I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm going to sell it for like $460 just to sell it quick just because I don't have to hold on to it and, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden we were coin flipping and I'm like, wait, what the hell's going on here?
He hustled you. He's like, hey.
And I was like, well, shit, I was trying to film my first vlog that day and I was like, well, I guess it's good content.
Dang.
But like all of a sudden we were coin flipping and I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then I ended up losing. And I think that's like the 5th coin flip I've lost to that little kid.
Damn.
So he came up and then he took that card. He told me he paid $400 for the card. I don't know if he actually did or not, but he took the other card that he won too and took it a couple of tables down and he's like, oh, I lost money on this card. Can you buy it? And then but then the guy
Dang,
that
hustler, dude.
Dude, the guy that bought it from him watches my channel, so he saw that I pulled it and he hit me up when I was talking about the stolen cards. And that same kid had also like, I'm not gonna pay attention to a 10-year-old that I like am a friend with, but he had grabbed a card and was like kind of walking off. Like he didn't get too far. Like he was behind my table. He took something and then like came to like pretty much this side of me and turned around. He's like, "You need to pay better attention." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not, like that." So maybe he did it. I don't think so. I just think it was someone picking through the value bin. But then that guy hit me up and was like, "Yeah, dude, that little shit. He told me that he paid like $100 for that card and he just needs to lose money on it." And I'm like, he saw my video, so he's like, "Damn, that kid got me." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, he's a hustler, bro." A lot of those kids are hustlers at the show. Just because there's little, you'll be surprised. People are obviously want to help little kids out, and some of them will take advantage at some point. Like. They'll do trade up challenges, and they'll start with like $1 card and try to see what they can work up with, and dude, they'll throw a fit, they'll bring you like a $5 card and they're getting mad because you're not going to give them an $80 card, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm trying to help, but like, they start throwing fits and stuff, and it's like, come on, dude, like these kids are hustlers out there though, like it's crazy. Like one of the kids there, dude, I thought he was older. Yeah, he always has really high end stuff. I do a lot of business with him, and I thought he was older. He looked older, and I asked him. He said he's 15. He just bought his first rental property at 15 years old off selling cards.
Damn.
Well, he said he went halves with him and his dad bought the house, but he like he gave his dad money to pitch on it, but
dude,
still at 15 years old
That's
off
awesome.
cards, like that's insane.
It is. Do you go to a lot of shows?
I tried to, man.
Where you sell, not just to go.
Yeah. I've gone to so I always try to do the Portland show. I'm really trying to get to the Auburn one.
That's what we were talking about.
That one I almost had to cancel on you guys low key because I thought I was gonna go I thought I was gonna go. I would have had to leave tonight, but I ended up the waiting list was booked out, and so it worked out fine.
So there's a waiting list for you to
get a table because that Auburn show, I guess it's really good. I hear nothing but good things, and I heard there's a lot because it's in a bigger mall, so there's a lot of normal people there to where they don't know.
And it's an active mall too. It's not closed
way
down.
active. And people, if they see something, you tell them a price, they'll pay for it. That never happens in Portland. It's always people, like most of the time, I never sell a card for what it's actually worth. It always has to be under because everyone's flipping nowadays. But I guess at that show, people will pay whatever price. They're not trying to nickel and dime you over $20-$50. Like I just heard it's really good. So I've been trying to go for a while.
We need to go, man.
Do you have to pay to get a booth there?
Yeah, and for Portland, so it used to only be once a month. They would do it Saturday and Sunday, and Sundays would usually be pretty dead. But it's like $75 for the weekend or like $55 for the day, so it's not too bad at all.
What about Auburn?
Auburn, I'm pretty sure it's the same.
It's the same?
Yeah. I've even told the guy because I would love to do a show every weekend if I could, Like I love doing shows. Like
dude,
I just love the hustle.
Here in Salem, dude.
So that's where I was going. I told the guy, I was like, "Would you be interested if I did the legwork for you?" I contacted the Holiday Inn over there on
Hawthorne?
Yeah, on Hawthorne, kind of by Stars. But I contacted them to see how much it would be to rent out their their meeting area or whatever, their ballroom or whatever, and he said, yeah, we're interested in doing it, so hopefully we can get one in here in Salem started up. I think that'd be pretty cool.
How big is it?
At the Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
I don't have the square footage or anything yet, but if it could usually, because the Portland show, I'm looking for anywhere that could do, like, maybe the Armory would be good. I just don't know how much that would
expensive.
Yeah, way too expensive.
Because I used to go, because there's like shows that I don't think rent would be too expensive, like at the Rickwell Fairgrounds. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I don't think I've been there.
Do you know where it's at? It's like 20 minutes from here. It's headed to Dallas.
Okay.
But they do a lot of events there. They do gun shows. They do coin shows. They do all sorts of shows there.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not too far away from here.
But a lot of people come from you because the whole way I was thinking, a lot of people come from Eugene to those shows too. So Salem's right in the middle, and even people from Portland, it's 30, 45 minutes south. It's closer from the people in Eugene. Salem has a big a big market too for cards. So I think Salem would be a cool spot. So I want to start doing some shows here because that guy is probably making bank. I don't think the Lloyd Center is probably charging him too much money to rent that space out. I would say $1,000 at the very most, and that's like the very most. Like I would be I mean, maybe 1,500 at the most, but I doubt they're renting that.
But when he's hosting that, he's providing the tables and tablecloths and all of that, huh?
Yeah, but he pays everyone. He pays someone to set it up, so he doesn't do anything himself besides just book it.
Okay.
How
okay.
many vendors do you think there is there?
So I've done the math. It's usually between like 50 and 60 tables. I think it comes out to like, I think like 2,800 or it was, or maybe like a little more. Let's see.
He doesn't get a percentage of your sales, right? It's just
no.
It's just the flat fee.
Yeah. So we'll do 75 for the weekend times 50 tables. It's $3,700 minus $1,000 to rent the Lloyd Center. You're making $2,750. Probably a couple $100 to pay the person to set all the
He
tables
does it
up.
twice a month though.
Yeah,
right?
And then he does all the shows in Washington. So
Is he the same guy that does it in Washington?
Yeah, same. Twin Oaks does all the shows in Washington. They do 2 in Washington, and they're doing 2 now in Portland.
Oh, that's right. Why? It's just Twin Oaks. Yeah.
So I mean, that's money right there.
Dude,
That's
what about if
crazy.
you just do it outside?
Outside?
Yeah, parking lot. Just rent out. You know how
You just have to hope the weather's nice.
Yeah, that's too
You know?
dangerous.
I mean,
here.
it's the thing is, you could do it typical, or you could always do it something, and you
Yeah.
gotta be like, well, it's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Put music, live music.
Yeah,
a DJ.
make you stand apart from someone else. Have food there.
Have
Food.
food. It might be a little investment at the beginning, but eventually, if you keep it going, then
Yeah.
that could be the hot thing
Yeah.
at
I think
Catcher
that'd be-
Station.
I think that'd be
And it's more of like, I just thought about it now, but it's more of a like when you present it, it's like, oh, what the fuck are you trying to do, man? Typically, everyone does it at a fucking mall or
Yeah.
at a store, but
Make it different.
you
Make
never
yourself
know,
stand
man.
out.
You
yeah.
never know. You can put music, food, refreshments, or whatever you want to do.
Have some
Fuck it.
liquor. People liquored up. Spend some money a little bit.
That's a little different.
Now you're thinking.
Yeah, no, that's fighties, stealing, all this.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
I
mean,
think it would be nice to have food,
know?
music. Make it more of like an event. Have like a raffle or something.
just music. You don't even
Yeah.
have to have food. I mean, just music, just a DJ. I mean,
Anything
we know
yeah.
You
DJs,
can
right?
invite, you can invite taco trucks and stuff,
Taco
I think
trucks?
that's what he's like saying. Like you're not providing.
Yeah.
The
Oh, okay, yeah, taco trucks and
Yeah,
stuff, dude.
yeah.
Like,
or just food trucks. Not
Yeah.
necessarily just taco
Minimum-
trucks, but food trucks.
I would probably just do minimum of what? How many tables? Because you don't want to be having like 10 tables.
No, you have
Yeah.
to have a minimum.
You have
like
to have.
60,
Hey, man, we
70
really try to get a
tables.
minimum. The more people you know, the more we could do.
Yeah.
As soon as we hit 50 or 70 tables, then we're good to go, right?
Yeah.
I don't
That'd
know.
be interesting. That I'd be down for that.
I think
that'd
that
be
would
dope,
be. I think it's
dude.
doable.
Because I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I mean, I know you guys are too. But breaking down those numbers, that profit sounds nice for what that guy does. Doesn't do too much work. He just answers the email, puts your name as a table, and just collects the money. He doesn't even set up the tables himself.
yeah.
So you make that.
And he's not there.
You're
There's
making a $2,000 profit every weekend. That's good money.
Yeah, that's good money.
Yeah, dude. Telling you.
So yeah, but I want to venture out and start doing more vlogs and
You
stuff
should.
like
You
that.
have
I
to.
want to start traveling to more shows, filming that, doing all that stuff too. So that's kind of in the works too, is just traveling more.
Do you know more people in Salem to do this?
Yeah, I know quite a few people in Salem.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people, and that's one thing we talked about doing a show, because it's like, well, we can't all just, set up and then we're selling to each other, because we kind of already do that at the card shop, So, like, we would have to get the people from
We have to,
Eugene,
Eugene,
Portland, Albany actually had a show a couple weeks ago and at the Albany Mall, and it wasn't too bad, but it was like a furry convention too, so like it was kind of weird, and there was only a couple sports card tables, so I was there for an hour or two, but it was packed, but it just wasn't enough sports cards. There was a lot of different stuff too.
Yeah, what I noticed about the Twin Oaks is that it's mostly just basketball and football. There's hardly any Pokemon.
If anyone,
and
there's
then hardly any soccer.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of Pokemon.
but
Hardly
Pokemon.
any soccer.
people all the time.
Wrestling,
soccer,
there's only one guy.
People ask me all the time, soccer, and it's like, I just, being completely honest, only soccer guys I know: Mbappe, Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar.
The main ones.
That's
yeah.
all you
And
need.
then,
That's all you need.
and then Holland,
Yeah.
So yeah, I see Mbappe over there.
Yeah.
I do want, like, for collecting wise, I do want to get like one GOAT from every
You have
sport,
to.
just to kind of be cool. I got the LeBron. Then, well, I guess that's debatable, depending on who you are, if he's the
Yeah.
GOAT or not. But then have like a Messi car, just one from that's like my goal, is to have one of like every GOAT from every sport. So that'd be pretty cool.
Dude, do Do you think that because I know that you went to California for a show not too long ago.
Huge show.
Is it profitable for you to go out, fly out there, stay out there, and then come back home? Is it profitable for you to make that trip?
So that's what's kind of holding me back a little bit from doing it. Right now, I would go because at those shows, those tables are running you a couple $1,000s.
But to buy to bring back home.
That's what I would be doing if am going to be traveling to go to shows. It would be to buy, and that's the game. It could be, and so that Burbank show, that was my first ever big show I went to, and they said that if you spent 30 seconds at every table, it would have taken you 6 hours to see every table.
Oh, damn.
So it was huge. A lot of people in there.
That's a
You're
weekend
walking,
thing.
you're seeing tables that are worth a couple $1 million of cards on each table. You're seeing some big stuff go down, and it was kind of overwhelming for me. And sometimes, like for an example, I sat at one table, was trying to work out a bulk deal. I'm sitting there for like, an hour and a half because I got to price everything, add everything up, see what I want, and then come up with a calculation and then shoot it at him. And then he doesn't want it. And then it's like, well, damn, I just wasted like an hour and a half. And so then sometimes I get discouraged, but
That's just a different stepping stone. That's
yeah,
just
it's, but yeah, you can definitely, if you buying is harder than selling. Buying is by far the most difficult part that I have in the hobby, is being able to buy for a good price that makes sense. And so that's just my struggle is, so at shows, yeah, you can find people that you can get good deals on. So that's essentially what I want to do is, there's one in Dallas in May. It's in the middle of May this month, and that's another big show, over like 500 tables.
I think that is the biggest show in the country.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest shows. They do it. Yeah, that one and the Burbank one I went to in California are like 1 and 2. Like,
Are you going to Texas then?
I haven't decided yet. There was one in Denver last weekend I was gonna go to, but then I didn't realize Portland had one the same weekend. So I was like, why would I waste all the money to go to Denver?
When is the one in Texas?
It's in the middle of May. Let me look right now.
Oh, this May?
Yeah,
Damn,
like in a
dude.
couple weeks. It's
I
like
was gonna tell you let's go, but
There's
like-
5. There's
Yeah.
like 5.
Yeah,
big
they do
ones,
them. They
and-
do them a couple
well,
times a year.
They do the one in Texas every quarter, so every 3 months. But the biggest 5 in the Pacific Northwest, the one that he went to in California, that's the biggest one in the Pacific Northwest. The one in Texas is the biggest in the country. And then
Sorry to cut you off, but it's May 18th through the 21st.
May 18th. And then I think like Chicago is
That's at the National this year.
say it again.
So that's the National is in Chicago this year. That's the
The main show of the
the
year.
main show. That's like, that's like the Super Bowl of shows, I guess. Like,
When is that?
that's in July.
In July. See,
So-
we got a couple months, dude. You should
So
go
I'm
to that
kind of
one.
saving up. So I've already kind of looked at everything pretty much for a round trip and hotel. From what last time I looked, I think it was like $1,000.
$1,000
for everything,
Where,
just
Chicago?
to go there.
Yeah, Chicago. But for something
You
like
don't
that,
like Chicago?
I don't know, dude. Why?
I've never been to Chicago. I'd love to go to Chicago.
Chicago's downtown Chicago's actually super tight. Like, it's pretty cool.
So, for it to be profitable, how much money do you think that you have to spend to make your money back and some profit for it to be worth your time, like as a bankroll?
So let's say it's going to cost us $1,000 to get there, which means, you'd have to, that's kind of hard to say just because you can't ever really calculate what your profit's going to be.
I would assume for average, I mean, you'd probably be paying like 70% to retail, right? 70 to 70,
Yeah, that's what a
80%.
lot of people, it's hard. I try to pay like 60, 65. That's when you're like, okay, you got
You're
you
good,
got a
you're
good
good there.
deal. But a lot of people are paying 70 to 75%, and a lot of these people at these shows too, some people pay 80% because they have the customer market, the retail market, to sell it for 100%. They have a lot bigger network. For me, I'm a lot smaller, but yeah, I would have to buy at hopefully 60. I would love to buy at 65% if I could. And so I would go there for the National. I wanted to bring like 10 or 15 grand to go there and try to spend. So then it would be profitable. But, it just depends on how much buying you can actually do there. Cause I can go to the show, but I may not be able to find any decent deals, but if you try hard enough, you'll find them there.
I feel like those shows is people that do this literally almost every.
Yeah, there's people that travel to every show all around the world.
Exactly,
everywhere,
because
every weekend.
I think for the first time, you probably will lose money. You probably break even. You probably gain $1,000.
Oh, I'll tell you guys
less.
right away. When I first got in the hobby, I got so excited. I went on eBay right away, and I didn't know about people paying. I thought if a card was selling for $1,500 and you got it for $1,400, that's a
good
great deal.
You didn't know fees.
I didn't know that, and so I'm buying all this stuff, and then keep in mind I'm buying in summer when prices were still high. I lost my ass on every single card I bought, pretty much. I have one of them. I made money on a few, but that's the learning lesson I learned. I thought, oh, if a card sells for $1,500 all day and you can get it for 13, 14, that's a great deal. No, it wasn't, because first I'm buying when the market was high and still while it was crashing. So I did. That was a good learning lesson. But so now I have to be more strict with buying.
Do you still have that Michael Jordan Fleer card?
I got rid of that one. I sold that one actually at the Burbank show.
How much did you sell that for?
Sold that one for 6,800.
So-
Part trade, part cash.
Part trade, part cash. So
That was my first card I ever bought in the hobby.
really, that's
For-
a very expensive card to buy for
It
first
was-
card in the hobby.
It was weird just because I am not a huge Jordan fan by any mean. I don't even really watch a ton of basketball. Like, I've probably watched 4 basketball games this year, 4 or 5, and they're playoff games. But I'm a football guy. But before I even got into cards, I would see that card everywhere. Like, that's the card. And when I got into it and was starting to look, and I was like, oh shit, like I could buy this card, and I kind of just bought it just, to be like, holy shit, like I never would have thought that was obtainable. And, I got it, but I did. I think I paid $7,000 for it. And, so I lost a couple $100 on it, but you win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some.
But then I've made, $1,500 on a card, it all, it's all even.
So
evens out.
what's your game plan when you go into a show? So you've sold $7,000 cards. Is that the most expensive card you've sold?
In a single sale, yeah. In a single sale, I've done like bulk, like some big bulk deals.
So if you have value boxes, you're probably selling cards from anywhere from a couple bucks, all the way up to $7,000.
Yeah.
So when you go out to a show, what's your game plan? What kind of price range are you looking to buy cards at?
So that, I'll tell you that. So obviously, when I first got in the hobby, I bought that Jordan card because one, buying it I thought it was a good investment to hold on to park some cash into it. Second, I thought, oh, expensive cards, they're more rare, those will sell easy. But guess what I learned? And so I was just buying all expensive cards when I got in the hobby. That stuff's so hard to sell because I'm not going to a lot of these bigger shows all the time, and I'm going to the Portland show, and not a lot of people are walking around with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in cash ready to spend on a card at those shows. And so I've learned recently that stuff that I want to buy is anywhere from $50 to $500. Anywhere in between there, a lot of people have that money and can spend that money. So that stuff sells a lot faster. And so, like for an example, that big collection I bought, there was, I think we calculated there was like $6,800 in sticker value. Like went through and everything in there was worth like $6,800 if you sold it for all what it was worth. I bought it for $4,500. And so I'll be able to profit. I'm not going to get that $6,800. I'll probably, make like $1,500 to $1,800 off it, maybe $2,000, something like that. So, that's kind of an example, but that was a big sale with some big cards, some small cards. But right now I already sold a lot of the big cards already. So now I'm moving the small cards right now. But when going to a show, yeah, I try to stay between that $50 to like $500 range. Like
That makes sense.
that, so let's say I go through someone's value bin and I get let's say there's $600 in sticker value. Realistically, I'm trying to pay like $400 for it. So that leaves me room. I'll probably make it. The hobby, it's a lot. It's about small profits. You're not, you can get into the bigger stuff, but then also you can lose your ass on a lot of the bigger stuff. So it's about small flips. And I'll tell you a story about this guy that I'm buddies with. Sam, I know you're probably not watching, but he gets mad. He got mad that a lot of people found out how well he did at that Burbank show that we were at. So he's a guy that goes to Twin Oaks, and he picks through the value bins and stuff like that. But this guy's been doing it for years. He has all the numbers in his head. And every time I saw him in Burbank, he was at a table picking through boxes. He carries a suitcase with him, like filling them with cards.
We're gonna know who he is when we see him.
Yeah, dude, he carries suitcases with him, and he's just buying stuff. And what he does is he goes through value boxes. He knows what he can sell, like what is moving and stuff like that. He'll get a good deal on it. Say he gets it for 65, 70%, take it to the next table, try to sell it for 80%. Boom. So now he has that money. And then he goes to the next one, do it again. There's 700 tables in there. He just did that all day for 3 days. He left there with like over $10,000 in profit in 3 days.
So this guy's the real flip challenge, dude.
Yeah, he's legit. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He has all the numbers in his head, and he's just willing to sit there. He was there from the time that show opened to the time that show closed, like 10 hours a day, just going through every single table, every single box.
That's a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I think that's more of my style, because I was telling, dude, all these value ones, dude,
it's easier to turn 5 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 than it is to turn $1,000 card into a $2,000 card.
I don't know much about them, but one thing I do is like, dude, there's something about it that it's just so easy to do, right? And I'm like, dude, you just got to go through them real quick. If you really want to make it like the main thing, then now you could take your time or a little bit, but it's just real quick, skim through them, it's easy.
Yeah.
We don't do it at a big scale because it's,
Yeah,
but
these guys are just getting into it.
But if you buy them for $1 or $2, flip them, dude. It's just so fast and easy, right?
It's so easy to turn, like I said, turn the 5 to 10, 10 to 15,
Exactly.
15 to 20. It's way easier to do that. But when you buy a bigger card like that, immediately that person's going on their phone and they're looking at all the recent sales on it, and they aren't paying over. They're going to go to, obviously they're going to, if there was a sale, let's say there's a sale for $1,500, $1,600, and then $1,200. They're seeing that $1,200, and they're not going to count those two big ones. Like that auction probably ended at 3:00 in the morning by someone with that didn't have a good eBay profile that got lucky. So that $1,200 price is good. That's what they're paying. They're not accounting for the other $1,500, $1,600 ones.
Yep.
So that's the hard part about selling the big stuff is. There's not much margin.
One is just volume, quick, easy, boom,
easy,
and that's
get
it,
going.
right?
That's what I try to do.
So you just got to pick your poison at one point. It's like, what are you trying to do, right?
Yeah.
It's like Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is volume, right?
Volume.
Big companies, it's more of the margin, right?
Yeah.
So where are you at in between? And so I like that style. I like going.
That's
through
what I'm learning too, is to stay in that middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as you profit, you're happy, and just take it to the next deal.
He likes more of the more a little bit kind of like a little bit more expensive stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just quick, easy. That's it. That's
because if you make $20 on you make $20 on 5 cards, that's $100. You keep doing that, that's gonna add up. You do that 50 times, that's $1,000.
It's just volume.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's where I need to, for some reason I just always thought, that's just me not knowing anything, buying expensive stuff. It's harder to make those margins. That's where you have to hold, the bigger stuff you have to hold. Like Trevor Lawrence, he's a super hot football player right now. Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, those guys, football season, it's hot right now. Football is like one of the hottest products right now because basketball is going into the off season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's still teams in the playoffs, so whoever's playing right now, they're kind of hot. But all the teams that aren't playing, their stuff is slowly going to decline for the next couple of months because no one's watching, basketball. So that's a good time to buy. And then, and then football right now, that's pretty much what I'm buying. Just, try to get that little stuff. And then I do want to get a couple of big cards and then hold them until, right beginning of the season and stuff like that. Because once it's like a week or two before the season, that stuff's going to jump crazy,
exactly.
So that's where it's harder to flip big cards unless someone just needed cash and, you got it for a super good deal, So
exactly.
That's what that's all it is. It's just what deal you get it at. And a lot of people, it's just hard to get deals.
Where do you sell? Do you sell online? Do you sell just in shows? Everywhere?
Instagram, eBay, Discord, everywhere.
Everywhere.
I try to. I got people here in town that I know that I move stuff to. Like I said, like the other day I bought I think it was like four. It was like 440, and the guy charged me for a bunch of cards, and then I ended up making like like 650. Like but moving them quick. Like I said, volume.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Is shipping expensive when you're doing it through
That adds-
Instagram?
That adds up too, because I mean that's it's $5 a card at least, to ship it, and it adds up. Some people will be nice enough and they'll cover shipping, but most of the time, like everyone's trying to penny, they're trying to save as much money as possible, so that does add up with eBay. eBay charges you shipping. eBay sucks though because of the fees. They charge 13%. So that's it's a lot of money that they take, especially on bigger stuff. Like. So eBay, I try to sell stuff for like 500 and less on eBay. eBay, I do pretty good. Like I sold a card actually right now on eBay. I just got a thing. I sold what did we sell? Ronald Acuna auto. He's a baseball player. Sold it for $115. So not bad. I think I paid like 60 for it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
doubled up on it.
exactly.
Just little stuff like that.
Yeah. Nice.
I just sold a Crystal Lave card too.
Who'd you sell? Chris Olave?
Yeah.
I actually just picked up a Chris Olave that I'm
Watch
trying
it.
to sell right now.
Watch it. He just bought it for me. What'd you buy?
Damn.
What'd you buy?
I actually just bought it yesterday. I didn't buy it on eBay.
Oh no, this is eBay.
Yeah, I bought it's a crystal glass mosaic PSA 10, so stained glass out of mosaic. So that's another one.
It was an auction. I did a 3-day auction. This is the first card that I saw because I want to try to start selling our stuff on eBay.
Yeah, dude. No, that was the buyer. I was like, oh damn, you already have 1,400 sales on eBay.
No,
What do you
no,
mean
no,
you're
no.
trying to get trying to get going?
Shit. Damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah, eBay's
It was
eBay's
it's nationwide, right? And it's not.
yeah. Some people are just lazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we were talking about the other day, some people just don't like eBay because they're lazy.
It's
know?
hard to keep consistent, dude.
Yeah.
We used to do eBay with just random stuff that we would buy,
Yeah.
and we did a lot of it, dude. I don't know how many things we sold, but I
We
mean,
sold quite a bit of things, but it was volume, right? It was volume. I mean, I don't find it difficult, to be honest. You just have to make the time for it, and that's it.
Yeah, like I find it fun packaging like orders and stuff like that, especially when I was first starting to sell. Like, because for a while I wasn't selling, I was just opening, and then I just had all the stuff I've been opening for all these months from YouTube.
That's us.
And then I was like, oh shit, maybe I should start trying to get some of this money back that I've been spending on boxes. Like I spent a lot of money starting this YouTube channel, and it's expensive, and I didn't realize how expensive it gets, but I'm gonna keep going and just keep putting money into it, and eventually it'll pay off just because I want it to work out. I want it to be a career. I don't have a career. I mean, my background isn't so great, so this is like pretty much I'm all in on this, so it's gonna work. I'm gonna put everything into it that I can and see what happens.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I see you, dude. You're out there on YouTube. You have over 500 subs now.
Yeah, I think we're at 530 right now. We're kind of growing.
You're 531. I was 31.
Really?
Because I was following you.
My man.
I was following you on my personal YouTube
Yeah.
channel, which it's not a channel, it's just my YouTube
Yeah.
account where I subscribe to people and I watch all my shit.
Yeah.
But then on our podcast YouTube channel, I hadn't followed you on that, but because I was following you.
Did
on
you
my
find
personal
me
one.
randomly on YouTube, or did you find?
Personally? No. I met you a long time ago. I met you. I know you don't remember me, but I met you at a card shop. I won't say which one, but yeah,
Yeah.
I met you there, and that's where you had showed me the Jordan.
Oh yeah, my Jordan card.
That's where you had showed me that, and then you had told me that you had a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and that was about the time when we were getting all of this started up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hell yeah, another local guy. And then that's why I started following you, and I'm like,
Yeah, because I remember
and we're
seeing the
into
Salem
cards and
stuff, and I was like, dude, that's sick. There's this podcast in Salem. And then I started watching what you guys are doing, and I was like, when I talked to you outside my place when you hooked me up with those blasters and stuff, I was like, man, there's actually a lot of interesting people in Salem doing cool stuff that people don't know about.
there's
you
a lot
know?
of talent, bro.
Like that one, the artist that we talked about, like I would have never
Jonesy.
known. Like that was pretty cool. So I like what
Shout
you
out
guys
to
have going
Jonesy.
on. Shout out Jonesy,
go.
man. That was a cool one. I like that one.
I guess before we open the packs, man, you want to show us what you got in that bulletproof case, or?
Do you ever get weird looks when you go through an airport, dude?
Yeah,
It's like a gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people or a lot of people think it's like glass from like people smoking weed and stuff, like
Oh.
expensive
Oh,
like
okay, I
pieces,
see, I
like
see.
bongs and stuff.
Security ever stopped?
Are those
Like, hey, you busy?
expensive? Those boxes?
No, I think I got this on Amazon for like $50 or
Oh,
something
okay,
like
yeah,
that.
that's not bad.
Let's see. I've sold a lot of the big stuff at the show this weekend. This is my newest one. I think there's only 40 of those. That's my first Kobe.
Was that Kobe?
Yeah, my first Kobe. There's only 40 of those,
Damn.
at least graded. That's the pop on that.
The light way.
Yeah, no, it's
Do
hard.
it that way, because the lights are over here, like that. Come on, dude. No, I see. Flip it. I see.
That's nice.
Julio.
I like this right
that
here.
was the Chris Olave I
You,
just
you
bought.
bought the, what is this? The bumper?
Ooh,
Yeah,
this is
someone,
nice.
the guy I bought the card from, he actually had that on there, and for some reason, I love the way the cards look, man. Those are fun. So I'll tell you a story about this is probably my biggest pool. I guess I already showed the LeBron stuff.
You don't mind if when we do our Instagram story that we post these, right?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Because this is pretty cool. Record this shit real quick.
See, that's why, because when you were talking about do I collect and sell, because now like I'm running low on like a lot of the big stuff that I had because I've sold a lot of it. Now it's like so I think I'm gonna hold on to like a lot of my bigger stuff. Like stuff in here is gonna be my personal stuff now, and I'm gonna start buying to actually just hold on to instead of just selling them, because sometimes it's like, oh man, like, but so I mean that's a Zion. This is the big daddy right there.
Ooh.
Only five in the world, and I'm the only one I think that has one right now in hand. I haven't seen.
Is that the video? That's the video you have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I posted that. So the funny story about that card is so I was opening. I went to New Hobby.
Sick.
I'm so mad I didn't. Well, I'm happy I got some of it on film, so I was able to make a short out of it. And the short actually did really good. But so I was there at the shop opening, and every time I've ever opened a box off camera, like just for fun, I pull the best stuff. Happens every time. It's bit me in the ass so many times where I pull big stuff and I don't get it on camera, so I miss it for content. But if you look on the back, it says I think it's 1 out of 5. So there's only 4 others in the world. So that's a big one.
That's crazy. I saw that one. You didn't pull the actual card. You pulled
It was
white
the
cardboard,
redemption.
The redemption.
So I opened one box. The first box I opened, I pulled it. There was a Steph Curry autograph out of 15. And it was a sticker auto. So I pulled first box, another Curry auto, opened the second box, and then pulled the Curry redemption for this one. And I didn't even know Brian knew it was out of 5 by the redemption because it said marble. And then I freaked out, saw Steph Curry, and I was like, oh my God, I opened 2 boxes and got 2 Steph Curry autos. Like, I sold the other, I think I sold the other auto for the 1 out of 15 for $1,200, stuff like that. And that, that's pretty much free money since I pulled it. But yeah, I think the biggest pool is that one. That one, it's hard to price that one just because it's out of 5. There's only 5 in the world. It's an on-card auto too, so he actually held that card and autographed it himself. And so I try to value that one at like, I have it on eBay for $5,000. See what offers someone throws at me. Like it's kind of hard to price it. There's not many out there in the world. Like good luck finding another one.
That's an expensive 13% fee.
That's why I'm trying to, that's why I try to avoid, like if I sell big cards on there, I like hit people up like, hey, do you have Instagram or stuff like that, blah blah blah, and try to do it off that. And eBay doesn't like when you do that.
I'm sure they don't.
But I try to get it done either way. That's why I've moved to Discord a lot, because it skips the fees.
Oh, there you go.
So, but I still PayPal fees are nothing. But yeah, so it's a lot better.
So let's get started, man. I'm excited. Let's get to ripping. So, like I said, I have the Pokemon Go ETB. You got the WWE.
I got the
Prism.
WWE. We're gonna get this started.
You're gonna get that John Cena auto.
Fun
Man,
fact:
I don't know, man.
someone just pulled a 101 The Rock auto
On these?
On
the,
this?
The retail?
I don't know if it was out of retail. I'm pretty sure it's out of a hobby box.
Yeah, I think it was hobby.
But it sold for $126,000, and it was only a PSA 7. So and that's the thing about the 101s too. It really doesn't matter about grade, because go find another one. There is no other one.
Who wants to go first?
Whatever.
How are we gonna do this? We can go pack for pack, or
We do pack per pack.
let's do
Yeah,
pack per
yeah,
pack
yeah,
then.
yeah. Let's get it, boys.
got Prism. Hopefully, there's a Brock Purdy sitting in here.
Are you much of a WWE fan?
Funny, I always wanted to watch it when I was a kid, but like never. I don't. Well, not say I wasn't allowed, but I just like never did. But I'm interested in WWE. Like I want to, and actually with those boxes, you get a lot of cooler. I noticed with WWE, like NASCAR, you get a lot more hits. Because I think they are trying to get people to buy that stuff more.
That makes
so
sense.
they load the boxes up with cool stuff.
Yeah, makes
So-
sense. I was a big WWF fan when I was young, but I mean, I'm probably obviously when you grow up, you're like,
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay. Yeah, I'm only 26.
I'm 27.
I think I'm 26.
Yeah. Jeez, who wants to go first?
You go first. WWE, let's go.
Let's go,
Let's
dude.
go.
Let's go.
All right, dude. How do you open this?
This ain't your
Man,
first
dude, I do
rodeo.
that on my channel. I started pre-opening like the boxes, like the
Yeah.
plastic. I'll like open it a little bit. Cause I may not be on there sometimes, looking like an idiot. Sometimes trying to fight it.
Oh, these are
so-
easy, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
these
dude,
ones
some
are
of
easy.
them were like,
Bro, so hard
You're
to
like,
open,
dude,
and I'm
you're
like,
like-
what's going on? So I just started pre-opening them.
is there a trick to these guys? I never opened
No,
WWE.
no, yeah,
It's
just-
just at the end.
Yeah.
The good ones at the end.
I don't know what the parallels are in there.
Oh, this
Any-
kind of sucks because you can't show them all the cards, I guess, huh? There's no main camera.
Trent 7.
It's not gonna.
Yeah, I
reach
don't know
that
what
far. It
camera.
won't reach that far.
We'll just show the big ones.
Dude, you remember Stacy? You remember Stacy?
Oh,
You remember her?
dude, the girls sell for a lot. I actually sold a gold one. I picked up in
me see 'em.
someone sold me a lot, and there was a gold WWE auto, and I sold it for like
Dude, this was
300
my
300
crush when I
bucks.
was
Dang.
when I was like 9 years old. This was my crush, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Stacy?
The
You
girls
remember her?
Nah.
Damn, dude.
I'm too young.
You missed out.
The girls sell for a
Who?
lot.
Randy?
Oh, there you go. Next
Okay.
level insert.
Let's
Cool.
go. Keep going.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Only
Oh.
4 cards. I didn't get much. I got Terry Bradshaw. That was my green parallel on the first pack. So hopefully they're loading up.
Let's see. I'm gonna open my first one. See, I get a hit without even opening anything.
Ah, lucky.
Let's see what's more profitable here, boys.
I still can't believe that you got that on sale.
What?
That
This?
box. I can't
You-
believe they discounted Pokemon.
They usually never do.
Was there more of them, or is that the only one?
There was one more.
Oh, dude. you
But I
should've-
bought a bunch of stuff, so I was like, nah, I'll come back for this. Maybe. And Pokemon. This is a Pokemon Go one, so I like the Pokemon Go one. Let's see what I get. No, I didn't get shit.
So with Pokemon, I noticed you take the first like 4 cards and then you move them to the back or something.
It depends. It depends what generation. But this new one, well, I guess it just ended.
Yeah.
But it has the code card. It has the code card. Take out the code card, and then you take out 4 from the back. Put them in the
Put
front.
'em in the front.
That way, the hit is the
always
very
in the
last
back.
one.
Okay. Nope.
Nah,
Nada?
Triple H.
Dud.
Nah.
All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Sometimes we do these at the shop. We'll do like best card keeps everything. Like we'll gamble like.
Damn.
And for a while, dude, I started out like 5-0, dude. I kept winning every single time. I actually just lost the other day for the first time.
Damn, I got a hit here. Woo! I just won it right here, boys.
Oh, there you
What'd
go.
you get?
I got a Radiant Charizard.
Woo! How much you think that bad boy is?
I think I saw PSA 10s going for like 70, 80. I think Raw it's going for like 30. I think that's what
Pays
it
for the
is.
box.
Oh, for sure. Almost paid for the box. And it's a double too.
Man, I am getting nothing.
And I got a Dragonite V-Star too.
Oh wow, that actually looks nice.
Yeah, that looks clean.
That's
dude.
probably like what, another $5
Now record that
card?
or what?
I don't know. I got to
hold on.
I got to look that up because
Did you already? Here, let me record
Damn it. What the hell is on that card?
Okay. Jeez. Nice.
Good condition too on both. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm pulling duds. Nothing special going on over
How many
here.
more packs you have?
Dude, I'm gonna record you.
I got 2 left.
Record you guys kind of close up, opening something. That way.
Yeah.
You want to open at the same time? Here, I just do it from here.
Okay.
Devontae Parker. Bruce Smith. Davis Mills. Evan Neal, not bad. Davis Mills would have been nice a couple years ago. All right. It's heating up. I'm feeling a Brock Purdy. Kenny Pickett. I see Chargers in the back. Quandre Diggs. Jared Goff. Juju. Isaiah Spiller. Not bad.
Not bad.
I got smoked.
You're done?
Yeah. Should we give all these away? I'll give these away to lucky one of your guys' Commodores.
Oh yeah.
Get all these cards.
Let's do it. You done yet?
No, I got 3 more.
I think I for sure took it then.
I couldn't wait. I just I just keep going. It's addicting,
It
man. I
is.
can rip all day, dude.
We all can.
Yeah, I think you got the good one.
I got the good
Yeah.
ones for sure.
Yeah, Alan smoked us. What even would be
Go
my
back to that place if it's on sale again.
What? Let's see.
Let's see. What even is
China, dude. Remember China?
No.
Dude,
Is
she was
this
in
the old school or
Playboy.
what?
She was a Playboy?
She was in Playboy. You remember? You never watched the WF, huh?
No, dude. That was
Damn,
before our
dude.
times, dude. You're too
Oh
old.
yeah, you guys are 2000 kids, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you're too old.
This is actually like it's like the color match. It looks super sick,
Hey,
but it
that
isn't
looks
worth
sick.
anything. But
Nah.
it looks super tight.
What do you think you got in value out of that box?
You want me to be honest, or you want me to boost it for the viewers?
Let's boost it.
I mean, probably $1 a card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I can't believe how fast that went. It was already 8:40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 8:40, almost 9.
Dude, I think we should be done now.
Yeah, we're all done. We'll wrap up.
I could have kept going forever. We
Interesting
should
stuff,
do another
dude.
one, bro.
We have to, dude. This is interesting.
I'm
stuff.
down. Maybe we could do like my beginning and stuff. We talk about.
We
you
have
know.
to because we didn't go over that.
Yeah, because I was wondering if you
we
guys
were-
wanted to like start like where like my early life.
We
and then-
were, but
that's-
dude, that
that-
was
We
quick.
kind of just
started off hot.
jumped in, you know.
started off hot
Yeah.
right away. And
Did I
then,
do
and
good?
Then, and you
Yeah.
did, you did good. We're still on. But you,
Okay.
But you started off hot, and then I was like, dude, I don't want to go back because it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I think those two are probably gonna be the best hits. These are all worth just a couple bucks.
Those are sick, bro. Charizard, you can't go wrong with the Charizard.
Got another one right here.
Charizard and Dragonite. Damn, another Charizard. Yeah, dude, I need to get into this stuff because I mean, even most shops, the bread and butter is Pokemon.
Yeah, the Radiant Charizard was the most valuable one, but it's only a $12 hit. So I mean, we've all definitely lost money in our.
You
openings.
definitely won more
But
than.
I think I definitely won on this one. And it's in pretty good conditions, but it's not a 10 for sure.
Have you sent any Pokemon cards in to get graded?
No, we have a stack that we're trying to send in though. We have a stack that we're trying to send in. We're probably gonna send in.
So I have a buddy. He does a lot of Pokemon. He's like huge. I could probably hook you up with him. He sells at the Twin Oaks show. He does a huge Pokemon booth. Like he's always there buying Pokemon stuff from Brian and stuff. But I hook you guys up. But me and him wanted to split a PSA membership It's $100 for a year, and if you do it, then it's only like $16 a card on bulk submission. So once me and him do that, and if you guys want to throw in our submission, it'd be cheaper. Be cheaper for you
That's
guys.
what we were planning on doing, the submission, because that's the way to go. Because
get the
so
membership.
is the $16 a card? Is that per like sport? So like if you send in football, you have to do another bulk of basketball.
Yeah, you can do,
or you can mix them.
Yeah, you can mix them.
Oh, that's a deal then. Yeah.
So yeah, you can. It's just $16 a card each. And I think actually PSA is actually having a Pokemon. Let me look right on their website.
That's why I was asking.
They were doing like a Pokemon special. I saw
because it was for $15.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
But I didn't know if you could send in basketball and stuff for that same price. I didn't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
But with the membership that me and my buddy were gonna split, it's $100 for the year, and then at that you get the special price of sports only. I think it's only like $16 a card or whatever it is. Because at the cards I paid, yeah, they're more expensive, and I wanted them back faster because I'm impatient. So I paid $40 a card.
Ooh, that's spending.
So,
that took a lot out of profit.
Yeah, so for 6 cards, it was like $240, I think it was, to send in to get graded. And if they get 10s, then they're good. Which that makes me mad because they, it shouldn't matter what the value of the card is after they grade it. I'm sending it to you raw, that's the value, but they upcharge you. So if you get a 10, they're going to charge you if you go over, Yeah. So hopefully I do get charged more, I guess, because that means I got good grades and, are going to do good. But, yeah, so if you guys want to do that, we can throw some cards together too. Because he does Pokemon too.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So, just to wrap up, dude.
Yeah.
What are your links? Instagram.
My links. Instagram, I got Michael's Cards, MichaelCardz. And my YouTube channel is Michael's Pack Openings. And I will give them a link, and maybe they can put that in the description.
Sure.
And then I could probably pull it up, and I'll show you guys close up on the camera.
For sure.
Please, guys, subscribe if you guys are interested in any card stuff. If you want to show them that. I'm actually doing a giveaway right now on my channel too, so if you get into it fast enough, you might be able to win.
What are you giving away?
I ripped a bunch of stuff, a couple of blasters today. I think I did like 2 Mosaic, a Contenders, and like a couple cello packs. And so I just asked a question at the end. It was to celebrate 500 subs, and if they get the question right, I send it all to them. So something like that. So that's the main thing I give away. That's what gets people to the channel. Everyone likes free stuff, so
awesome.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you got anything else, just want to say thank you for taking your time to come over.
No,
man.
dude, thank you guys. Honestly, like I could go for longer. I had a blast. So maybe if your audience is interested, we'll do a round 2.
We have to, for sure.
That'd be fun.
Like you said, we appreciate you coming through, man.
This is
fun for us. Like, we're super into this, so...
Yeah, man, it was honestly a blast. We didn't even get into the early life stuff or anything.
You have to come back.
Yeah, no, I'm down, bro, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
All right, well, so wrapping up, guys. Thanks for watching.
Go.
Thank you, guys. Subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.
These guys are killing it. Next one's up.